You want to know how a quiet street outside Phoenix turned into the set of a federal drama? Here's the punchline up front. You tow a crashed airplane out of someone's driveway and you're not just asking for trouble, you're inviting the feds to your barbecue, and they don't show up hungry, they show up ready to burn the whole party down. That's what my neighbor Karen, yeah, that's her real name, I swear I couldn't make this up, found out the hard way when she thought a little HOA muscle would put me in my place. Instead, she just about got herself a federal record, and let's just say it was the most action our street's seen since the Great Pool Float Rebellion of '09. Let me back up a sec. 2 weeks earlier, I'd rolled home a wreck. Not just any wreck, but my pride and joy, an experimental aircraft I'd built with my own hands, call sign XQ9, hauled back on a flatbed engine still smelling of burnt aviation fuel after a forced landing out in the desert. Now, this wasn't just another midlife crisis toy, like Karen loved to call it. This was my project, my passion, my ticket to the clouds. And after the crash, the NTSB swooped in like clockwork, handed me a stack of federal paperwork and told me point blank, do not touch, do not move, do not pass, go until our investigator checks every nut and bolt. I followed their orders, parked the bird in my driveway, sealed off with federal tape, big orange cones, the works. It looked less like a yard ornament and more like a downed UFO with all the attention it got. But to Karen, HOA president, self-appointed warden of Rose Gardens and Community Harmony, it was just trash. Shiny, federally protected trash, ruining her $1 million sunset. The day I rolled in, she stomped over recording me with one hand waving a violation notice in the other and slurping her Diet Coke like she was the Queen of England. Remove that heap by morning, she demanded. I tried being polite. I showed her the federal tags, the do not tamper notice, even the email from the NTSB. She called it all fake, accused me of staging some kind of backyard terror drill, and stormed off swearing I'd regret it. Yeah, that happened. Next morning, first violation notice, unauthorized structure, $500 per day. She didn't even have the decency to say airplane. I scanned it, emailed it to the NTSB agent. His reply, do not move the aircraft. We're sending someone. Any tampering is a federal issue. So I printed that out and handed it right to Karen the next time she came stomping by. She tore it up in my face. Fake. Try harder. And you know what? That's when I should have known she wasn't going to stop. 3 days later, I was dodging her aesthetics committee notes in my mailbox made-up group, just Karen and her dog, while she started making 6 laps a day past my driveway just to glare. Neighbors whispered about her campaign to have me kicked out of the community. Greg across the cul-de-sac just shrugged. I told her it wasn't our business. She said, we'll see what the tow truck thinks. That sent a chill right through me. So I called the NTSB again. They said inspections in 72 hours, federal field vehicle en route, do not move the plane. I tightened down the tarp, locked the straps, put up a camera. Friday night, I went to bed feeling like a storm was coming. And I was right, just not the one I expected. Saturday, 7:15 a.m., chains grinding metal backup alarms, echoing off stucco and cacti. I flew out the front door barefoot, coffee flying, and there's my plane halfway into the air behind a tow truck. Karen all smiles, live streaming on her phone. Good morning, trash pickup, courtesy of the HOA. I'm yelling at the driver. He just shrugs, says take it up with the board. I point at the federal seals, the cones, the do not move tag. He doesn't care. By the time I fumble my phone, the truck's rounding the corner and Karen's gleeful narrating to her 2 Facebook viewers. I call the NTSB, give them the plate, the direction, everything. The line goes dead quiet. Then the agent asks, did anyone remove the flight recorder unit? My blood runs cold, the black box still inside. Karen just had a federal crime towed right out of my driveway live on the internet. The response, instant and nuclear. Within half an hour, unmarked cars flood the block. 2 federal agents at my door, one sprinting to Karen's house, the other grilling me about every detail. Karen, never one to back down, meets them like it's brunch, then freezes when the lead agent announces loud enough for half the street to hear, notify the NTSB director. We have a civilian interference case and the evidence is gone. Now here's where the real circus starts. Karen, suddenly not so smug, tries to defend herself, waving HOA bylaws, demanding to know what jurisdiction the feds have. The agent grizzled stone-faced name tag reads, Blevins says, ma'am, Tampering with federal evidence is a felony. Karen rolls her eyes. It's not even a real plane. It's just scrap. Blevins points to the live stream. You recorded yourself interfering with a federal investigation. Karen finally blinks like maybe she's realizing this isn't just another HOA squabble. The tow company gets tracked in minutes, a bottom-shelf outfit run by a guy named Donnie who admits he didn't check tags or paperwork. I just do what the lady tells me. She said it was garbage. Problem is, the garbage had a flight recorder inside holding the last seconds of a crash that could save or doom future pilots. The feds are fuming. The yard's locked down, the cockpit pried open, the black box gone. Karen meltdown mode. Rants about her rights, blames me, accuses the NTSB of targeting her. Even her allies are slipping away. One board member, Arlo, resigns on the spot. Another emails me to apologize for ever voting with her. The neighbors, once just nosy, are glued to their windows. Greg drops off chips. You know she's cooked right. I just shake my head. There's no satisfaction, just exhaustion. But here's the twist. The feds actually recover the black box tucked away in a storage unit, miraculously intact. The data inside shows a wiring flaw in my experimental engine that, if gone unnoticed, could have doomed other aircraft. The NTSB issues a national bulletin, my crash, Karen's chaos, and that little black box end up saving lives, sparking safety updates across the country. An aircraft company even halts production while they analyze the data. Funny how the trash in my driveway turns out to be a national headline, a lesson in humility the whole block won't forget. As for Karen, her world shrinks overnight. Board members bail, her rose garden withers. HOA president for life no longer gets her free Diet Cokes. The trial. It's a media circus. Karen in fire truck red, accusing the judge of conspiracy, spinning wild stories about engineer spies and deep state witch hunts. The jury needs less than 2 hours, guilty on all counts. 9 months probation, /50K fine banned from the HOA. Her house is up for sale before the ink's dry. But even then, Karen won't quit. She rants on social media posts, manifestos, tries to host emergency board meetings. Nobody shows up. She locks the website, issues new emergency rules. Nobody listens. The reflective gnome rebellion is born. Neighbors fill their lawns with garden gnomes in protest. Her reign isn't just over, it's a meme, and everyone's in on the joke. Me. I'm busy in the garage putting the finishing welds on my next project. Older, wiser, a little more cautious, but still chasing the sky. Dana, the new HOA president, brings over a gift basket, says the board's issuing a formal apology for doubting me. The whole street feels lighter, kids back on their bikes. Neighbors joking about HOA free zones, even Greg admits, you win. I don't gloat. I just take a breath, look up at the sunrise, and know that sometimes standing your ground pays off, even if you gotta weather a tornado of stupid to get there. And you know what? There's the irony. Karen wanted to erase what she didn't understand, to keep everything clean and pretty. Instead, she exposed the real cracks, not in my driveway, but in how we let fear and petty power trips run the show. Her story's a warning and a punchline one folks will be telling at block parties for years. But hey, that's just how it happened on my street. What would you have done? Was I right to dig in? Or should I have played nice and moved my wreck? Where's the line between community and control, between safety and overreach? Drop a comment. Share your story, because trust me, everyone's got a Karen, but not everyone gets to see one go down in federal court.